Baron Black on the line with us yet again. I have to say, Baron, you are part of my 4 horsemen of interviews now, because I think this is our 4th interview. You might hold the record. You might be the leader. If we might have done 5. I can't even remember, but you're up there. So welcome to the show again.
What better position to be the leader than the Emperor, Baron Black?
That's right. Top of the list, top of the hierarchy we got going here. So
exactly.
We got coming up here, Terminus 2 on February 24th at the Oasis Events Center, and a follow-up to the first Terminus. Baron, how do you feel just in general going from the first one to the second one? Is there certain things that you are pretty proud about, how you guys accomplished it all, and what things do you think you can improve
on? Yeah, I'm very happy with what we have done so far. The first show was officially sold out, and the Fight TV pay-per-view did pretty well, very well, to say the least. And snowstorm be damned, we still put on a hell of a show, and we was very proud with the matchups and how the show went, barring some technical difficulties with a little bit of audio and certain things. But that's inaugural show, headaches that happen. That's just inevitable. But we battled a snowstorm, we battled some technical difficulties with audio, and we still pulled out an amazing product. We was very proud of what we have done.
And the execution of it all too, from how you position the talent, and we'll get into a little bit of the details of the rules all set up and everything like that. But a very tight show with a lot of talent showing their abilities in the ring, in the modern age grappling kind of vibe it gave off. I think you guys really accentuated that point. And for folks that aren't aware too, if you're in the South and it snows, it's a tough time to get to wherever, because you guys down there don't have like all this stuff that we have up in north in Pittsburgh or Erie, PA or Buffalo. It's like you're subject to the elements, so it really speaks to the ability of the fans showing up. You guys had a good crowd there too, and to have that in Atlanta during a big snowfall, it says a lot too of what you guys were presenting and ready to go with.
Yeah, I think the snowpocalypse of 2014 scared everybody so much that whenever we hear anything about snow in the Atlanta area, everybody starts to freak out. Right. But this time the city was well prepared. We did get more, winter equipment after that disaster. So it was really smooth sailing this time around. It was about an inch, maybe inch and a half. I know some people will laugh at that because they live up north, like right. inch and a half is nothing. And roads were clear. It was all good. People initially was hesitant, and then as you see, people still ended up coming out to the show because we had a pretty good crowd. Not the whole sold out crowd ended up coming because some people still didn't feel safe riding out there, which is understandable. But the city was prepared, and we had no incidents. So that's the first time we had actually snowfall and no incidents in Atlanta. So I say they took care of us really good, and the people was able to come out.
Heck yeah. And something that you talked about too with Jonathan and Gresham on our last interview was getting that identity, pro wrestling identity back to Atlanta, and like making, because Atlanta is a pro wrestling town, as we all know. Did you kind of feel that in a way, like the vibe of that going on, and how once you executed the pay-per-view, did you feel like accomplished in that regard of hey, we're going to establish a brand here, and this is our promotion, we're going to be unique and embrace Atlanta and their love for pro wrestling?
Oh yeah, I feel like we definitely accomplished that. I feel like the fans think we definitely accomplished that. Probably after the pay-per-view went off the air, I'm not sure if anybody actually recorded this and put it online, but we did give a speech to the crowd, thanking them for coming, even through a snowstorm, And one of the common, comments that I heard after I talked to some of the fans after the show was over is like they was thanking us. They was thanking me, they was thanking Gresham, they was thanking us, and they was saying thank you for bringing wrestling back to Atlanta. We're excited again. I can't wait. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what we wanted to hear. We wanted to hear the fans be ignited. We wanted to hear them be excited for pro wrestling again. And I think we accomplished that. And I still get messages from people who is like, yeah, I can't wait for the next show. I can't wait for the next show. So it's piqued a lot of interest. It also piqued a lot of interest of a very important business people in Atlanta who have been in contact with me. So it has reached a broad amount of people. So there might be some other, great things happening in Atlanta pro wrestling wise down the line. So
heck yeah, and if you get that connection with the city too, if it's specific to the city too, you can't get a better way to express your identity for pro wrestling by being in the home base. And hey, we got those ties to the city itself too, so that's awesome. As far as what you guys have set up here for Terminus 2, damn, we were talking off here, the talent that you have listed here coming up, as well as a few of the matches you got going on. Some of the stuff you have here is the Terminus Eliminator match with Kenny Alfonso, Josh Alexander, Leon Ruff, and Trey Lamar. Josh Alexander was in the main event for you guys last Terminus against Gresham, and they put on a hell of a match and really told a good story there too. So you also have Adam Priest versus Invictus Cash, Gresham versus Santana of AEW. What a unique kind of dream match that's going to be, I think, for a lot of fans. And then you also have Kenny Blackwood and Daniel Garcia versus Danny Calabero and Joe Keys. So those are the matches announced now, but you guys have a lot of talent going in. What's to kind of go back a little bit, what is some of the on it when you're in the moment being promoter, because you guys were in matches too the last time as well. So you fought Bandito, and Gresham was a little concerned too. It was like, hey, how am I going to balance wrestling as well as promoting at the same time? What kind of on-site kind of lessons did you learn as promoting your first big show here? And what kind of stuff are you taking into Terminus 2 with that as well?
If you think you're prepared, prepare more. That's pretty much that falls under everything. When you think you're prepared, prepare more. Because any and everything can go left or right. So it's you got to prepare for everything. You got to have a backup for every situation. And that's definitely what I've learned. And if you think you have enough of something, get more of it. So that's exactly what I've learned.
Now, from a wrestling perspective, did you feel you were able to balance that okay too as a promoter and being on the card itself? And then also, how about Gresham? I know he was concerned about that as well.
Yeah, we was able to feel it out because it's the first time. Mm-hmm. And having my best friend Gresham right there with me, it made it a lot easier. Said it is instead of it it was just him by himself or me by myself. You know what I mean? But we both was right there, and then we basically balanced the tasks off each other. You know what I mean? What he can tackle the best, what I can tackle the best, and we worked off each other. And then we was able to just, after we got everything rolling, we was able to just come out of promoter mode and back into savage wrestler mode. So
right. I know, turning that on and off like that. it's a little bit of an adjustment, I'm sure. So so I also too, what I wanted to touch upon was the rules. I thought that this was such an awesome element that you guys had. You teased it a little bit in the last interview, but then we saw it get executed on the show itself. It even played into the match of Moose, going up to in his match where he got disqualified because of the two terminal whatever they're called when you break the rules. He broke the rules.
Yeah, he got 2 technical fouls.
2 technical fouls.
Mike
Thank
Bennett.
you. Jeez, I've got to think of basketball and stuff like that. He threw somebody over the rope, and you can't do that. And you also, like, what's neat too is the 5 count, like really adhering to the 5 count and the time limit, the short time limit. It's like a 15-minute match. That's not from a pro wrestling perspective. You look at how some of these matches go, and like, hey, that's a race against the clock. So these elements, these classic kind of wrestling elements like that, really calls back to like world class. And other, I think Mid-South did a lot of this stuff too, but where like, hey, if you throw somebody over the top rope or anything, even like a infraction such as like climbing the top rope can be things too. I think that's really going to create an identity for Terminus. Are you guys ready to embrace that more so too when it comes into the rules and what you present on your cards moving forward as well?
Yeah, like the Terminus directives is a core part of Terminus.
Yeah.
That's what really makes Terminus unique. That's what really makes Terminus stand out. That's what really makes Terminus different. And it also, as you can see, it also changes the mindset and the game plan of the actual wrestler / grappler going into the match, because they're coming into a situation where it's not very common that they have these set of rules, that they have to combat within. So as you can see with Moose, it kind of backfired on him a little bit. So it's like, you'll have situations like that. And also it makes for very exciting matchups, because it makes the viewer wonder who can, display their strengths, you know what I mean, within this rule set.
Yeah. No, I think it was such a neat aspect to add, and just the little details, attention to details like that, I think adds so much value that you don't see in, your modern wrestling product. So to bring that into the forefront of a promotion, I think is so valuable, and will like further not only etch your identity as a promotion across the board, but to make Atlanta stand out too as like its own kind of wrestling identity too further. So I thought that was such a neat execution and way to handle it. Like that's something I'm extremely excited about with Terminus. And the feedback I received too from people that watch it live, I watched it after the fact, but people that watched it live, like it was very positive, and how like exciting it was to see these matchups that weren't expected or weren't to be seen. Like, somebody like Alexander and Gresham going at it. It's like that's a tight ass match right there. So it's like, and you going up against Bandito and stuff like that, you're on the card. Are you pretty excited to like get things kicking with some of these new talent you got announced for and everything as well?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I've been preparing ever since, the ROH World Title match, which I did not pull through in. So I'm just waiting to see what the card, what hand I'm gonna be dealt from the deck. You know what I mean? When it comes to the 24th, I'm waiting to see what that's going to happen. But I'm definitely preparing for it.
Absolutely. Who are you really excited to get for the second time around? Because you guys got Swerve, Shane Strickland coming. You also have Davey Richards, one of my favorites, showing up. And then you guys have Serena Deeb, the professor, coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a very exciting like kind of follow up to the first inaugural show, and to have like all these different talents, not only from AEW, but you have like a free agent like Swerve. You also have like the MLW's Davey Richard and AEW Serena Deeb. So getting these names and these different promotions in the mix, it's pretty darn cool to see. From that perspective as well, is that something you really want to embrace too, is creating an identity of like, I hate to use it because it's overdone, I think it's forbidden door, but hey, it's open, man. So
the forbidden door,
right?
Yeah, forbidden door is like a it's like a popular term right now, but yeah, we have shown that we have interest in talent, no matter where what company they lie in. If they're able to, work for Terminus, we will bring them in. So I'm very excited for, former Young Lion, now New Japan Strong Star, Gabriel Kidd.
Yeah.
Definitely excited for Davey Richards. You know what I mean? That his name carries weight as one of these, pillars of independent wrestling and also MLW. Of course, I'm excited about Kevin Blackwood. A lot of people haven't seen Kevin Blackwood on the East Coast or in the Southeast. I don't think he's ever been in the Southeast, so they're going to get a treat with that. Also, Serena Deeb, one of my favorite wrestlers right now. The Professor, love me some Serena Deeb. Also with Leo Rush and Swerve Strickland. Swerve the Realist is what he's going by now. So it's like I'm very excited for that. That we was able to bring him in as one of the first few matches he's having ever since he become a free agent. You know, and of course, as you already seen, Santana facing Gresham for the RH World title. So having Santana there is absolutely great. It's really the whole, you know, roster that we have that I'm really excited. You know, I'm really excited for people to see Queen Amanada.
Yes.
A lot of people haven't seen her unless you watch some of AEW Dark Elevation. Also, I think people are going to be excited to see more of Adam Priest and Invictus Cash.
Right.
You know, we have Liza Hall. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it last time due to the weather situation. Now she's going to be here. Jay Lethal, of course. Jay Lethal, household name, legend in my mind. He's going to be at this show because he couldn't make it the last show due to the weather situation. And I'm really excited for people to see Leon Ruff as well. He's from Atlanta. He trained in Atlanta before he, you know, had the WWE run and after he became a free agent. So this is return to Atlanta ever since he became a free agent late last year. Also, a guy like Trey Lamar and a guy like Kenny Alfonso. Names of guys that people probably wouldn't know, not majority of people would know, but they probably are going to know after Terminus 2. So I'm very excited for like everything on this card, to be quite honest with you.
There's a lot of interesting elements set up because you guys, like you just mentioned, you have a lot of names that don't have a lot of recognition yet, but you also have the modern talent coming in and like probably going to be mixing it up with some of these names too, which will be pretty darn cool. And these guys and gals will get to really showcase themselves of who they are, but under the accordance of the Terminus rules, which is just another added element of coolness to it. So yeah, I'm pumped for it. February 24th, it's happening at the Oasis Event Center. Well, let me see what else I have here for you. Anything in particular that fans can expect differently, maybe from, it could be presentation, it could be execution, it could be anything like that. Anything fans can expect differently in round 2 of Terminus here coming?
Yeah, I can definitely expect the audio issues to be handled.
Yeah, I'm sure that. Yeah,
that's definitely going to be that's definitely been hammered out. So, I don't know. Expect even a better and greater product than the first Terminus was. You know what I'm saying? We're really focused on continuing to make it better as we continue to go on, as we continue to announce more Terminus shows. So that's what I expect. The matchups will remain exciting. We will definitely continue to deliver on that level. And any and everything that we can improve, we will improve.
Heck yeah.
So
it's just a matter of trial and error.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. No, it's like, again, to make promotion stand out in today's vast wrestling landscape of not only just independent promotions, but mainstream wrestling promotions, it's hard to do. And I think a really big feather in your guys' cap is the Terminus rules that you go by. So I think that's something that fans can really get excited for, and the incorporation of talent that people recognize, as well as new talent coming up in the game. I think you guys are right on the right track, and you guys know what the hell you're doing. So I'm excited for it, man. So anything else you want to plug or get over here before we wrap things up?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We always think about, me and John, we always think about interesting things. It's always, we have a lot of ideas that have not been incorporated yet. So you might actually see some other cool stuff pop up very soon. So
Nice.
that's a little tease right there. You know what I'm saying? And we're always looking forward. We're always looking to try to keep it unique while keeping it to the foundations and in the core of wrestling. So y'all better and y'all need to see Terminus 2 on February 24th.
Hell yeah. Gonna be available on Fight TV. Check it out. I'm excited for it. I definitely will be. And yeah, it's something that if you're a wrestling fan and you like the art of the in-ring work and what the performers do and the athletes do, that Terminus is right up your alley. So and I can attest to that. So good stuff.